Hello, my dear friends. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back. My name is Sarita. I have a single candle review for you today. This is from Bath & Body Works, and it is Vanilla Coconut Surf in packaging that I think is really beautiful, although admittedly a little understated. This came out in a mini collection very early in January, actually, with Palo Santo in a black and white packaging and maybe a couple other things. I don't know. I love Subdued. I love Neutral. And I love this. I don't know what it would be called, whether it would be considered Art Deco or not. I'm not really sure, but I thought this was fantastic, and it's definitely my kind of vibe. All right, so before we continue, I have a public service announcement. I am aware that semi-annual sale is on. So I actually went online when they gave, like the, at 6 p.m. the day before, which would have been Friday, right? They said online access, whatever. I looked, I didn't really see anything that I liked, whatever, it was fine. Saturday, I went in very early to my store, and I walked in the door and they were like, "Do you need a basket?" And I almost never take a basket, but I was like, yes, give me a basket. I fully expected to have a haul, a major haul. I walked that store for 20 minutes and I put the basket back and I was just like, this is no. So unpopular opinion, I actually am not wowed by semi-annual sale this year, but there are a couple different reasons for that, for sure. I did end up buying something. What I bought was this. So this is a lone, car freshener here. This was on the 75% off table, Vacation Vibes, and I loved the Vacation Vibes, like the Sol de Janeiro Dupey collection that came out like a couple weeks ago. I call it Dupey. It's not really a dupe collection. The closest one is Vacation Vibes, which is in this like orange kind of packaging, and it's very misleading because they do have a yellow one, but the yellow one in the collection is not actually the yellow one for Sol de Janeiro. So they tried to keep it tricky. They kind of mixed up the colors. Don't be confused if you're a Sol de Janeiro person. The original Sol de Janeiro, I don't know, it's like Charosa 62 or who knows what else. The original mainline Boom Boom Cream, like the original Boom Boom Cream fragrance, that is the orange Vacation Vibes, and it's the only one of the three that I think is duped with any kind of integrity and actually smells quite good because it's that beautiful like caramel, sandalwood, pistachio, amber, just amazing Charosa 62 fragrance, and I bought it in body care. It looks like this. I don't know why I'm not just showing you this. This I bought like a few weeks ago, yeah? So then when I saw this on 75% off, I was like, oh, I want my car to smell like that. Why is it 75% off? And I even talked to the girl for a long time, and I was like, why is only this on clearance but not the other stuff in the line? We don't know. I bought it. It was 75% off, $1 and like 24 cents or who knows what else it is, right? But then I came home and I realized once I put it in my car, actually I bought two of them because I have one in my car right now. This is not the Sol de Janeiro one. So, very tricky public service announcement here. Do you see how this one says Vacation Vibes, plural, vibes? And this one only says Vacation Vibe, singular. This is only a vibe. This is vibes. Okay? See that? See that? See that? Yeah, I didn't see it either. Apparently they came out with this like a bit before, and it may even be a long-standing fragrance. I don't know. And I should have known when it says on here, look at this, fruity. There's really no fruit in the Sol de Janeiro. This is a coconut pineapple fragrance. See? So now my car smells like a pineapple. Do I love that? No, I don't. So that was kind of a big mistake of $1.24. So just FYI, if you see this sitting out, it is not Vacation Vibe, because this is Vacation Vibes, coconut and pineapple. Please only apply if you like your house or your car. There's a room freshener. A room freshener which is 75% off, and this one, which is 75% off. But this is only if you want your car or your house, respectively, to smell like a pineapple. Okay? Be aware. Be prepared for the vibes, which is plural, and that goes to pineapple and coconut. All right, so anyway, close parentheses on that. I came home with my little thing, and I just kind of put it out of my mind. I was just like, okay, ho-hum, the sale's going on. There were a couple candles that I kind of wanted to buy, and I did get a coupon for $10 off, but I was like, you know what? The sale is going to go on for 4 weeks. It always goes on like 2 weeks longer than you think it should, You're just exhausted of it, so let's pace ourselves. That's what I thought. Let's pace ourselves. You can get those candles at some point. Save it for a rainy day in June. Like, this semi-annual sale is not anything to write home about. I just didn't give it any thought at all, and I was ready to go on with my day. And then over the weekend, like, all of my candle friends are like, craziness and insanity semi-annual sale. Like, everybody in my news feed is like semi-annual, right? Semi-annual. And like, even candle people who like haven't been publishing a whole lot of content lately, they're like, hello, semi-annual. And I was left at home being like, I don't think I understood the assignment. I still think I understood the assignment, because everybody's like, I went to 3 stores, I only spent $100, and like, yeah, I don't know what to say. Like, I can't make a video about this. So I did go back on Sunday with my $10 off and went ahead and bought the candles that I know will still be there in several weeks. And I was going to save for a rainy day, but like, I just felt like it was embarrassing. I have a candle channel, and like, I need to just save face. I need to put something up there. So I am going to try to go to another location. So if you don't know, I live in Charlottesville, Virginia, and we're a very small little town, and we are a 1-store town. So 1 store, 1 location. And on top of it, here's the other thing. On top of it, our location changed locations in January. So they had been in a really like dying indoor mall for a very long time. And then in January, they moved to a beautiful new busy location, a new storefront. But because over the like, semi-annual sale and the holiday season, they knew they were going to move in January. Like, when it was the holiday season and the holiday clearance, they literally clearanced everything out in their entire store. There was like nothing on the shelves. They went deep back into the back room, deep, and got like all kinds of stuff up. So before they made the move, they had like nothing in stock. And then when they got their new location, they got like a completely new floor plan for like, and I don't even actually think that they opened up until like February or something. So it was even past semi-annual, and they just got like a brand new floor set. All this to say, close parentheses, my store doesn't have any juicy stuff. Like, we don't have a backlog of like seasonal stuff from like last summer or even the Christmas season, because of the move for that location, they just don't have anything that's like 75% off or that's juicy from another season. So that's part of the reason too why my semi-annual sale on Saturday was like, right? So I will try to go to Richmond today or maybe tomorrow. And so please expect some sort of like, phoned in. It's not going to be phoned in. I'll do my best with it. But semi-annual sale haul. Another reason why I didn't do a semi-annual haul is because frankly, and I'm one of the few, I think I'm one of the few candle reviewers, with the exception of maybe somebody like Kent from Candle Channel, who has actually kind of stayed with Bath & Body Works and stayed pretty current with Bath & Body Works for the last 4 months. I mean, I go into my store every week, every 2 weeks. I know what's come out. Like if it's a candle, I've probably reviewed it. I've at least talked about it, you know. So I kind of know all of the releases since January, and I've burned a lot of them. I've reviewed a lot of them. And so in that sense, it makes like semi-annual a little bit more underwhelming for me. But if you, and there are many candle reviewers, frankly, who haven't been to a Bath & Body Works quite as often. And so semi-annual is a great opportunity not just to experience those like new floor sets or those new semi-annual candles or whatever else, but they're actually going into stores and experiencing some candles there that have actually been out for a couple of months and they're just either not aware of or didn't get to purchase or whatever else. They're smelling them for the first time, they're hauling them for the first time, and there's a great deal of excitement in that regard too. And to all of you, I say, hey, welcome home. Bath & Body Works has been here. I am glad that you have an opportunity to like go and experience some of these candles, but for me, they're not like completely new. So when I isolated the things that were actually new on Saturday, there weren't really that many, and there certainly weren't many that I was super interested in. Spoiler alert, I did pick up the mashup of the apple and the In the Stars. I do like In the Stars a great deal. I generally don't like body care candles, and I wouldn't just pick up In the Stars body candle, but the fact that it was mashed up with the apple and it's kind of like anticipating fall a little bit, I went ahead and picked up that one. And when I go to Richmond, I may pick up the Ocean and Vanilla Bean too, because I actually thought that one wasn't bad either. I do have thoughts about that whole collection. I have thoughts about like the other collection with like the fireworks pops and the coconut and milkshake and whatnot. So I do have some like random things to say, but like not a whole lot to talk about. However, I will talk about that in the video, which hopefully once I get to Richmond today or tomorrow, I will upload something and I will try to join the party. Very Johnny comes lately, and I apologize for that, and I hope I've explained it. And for those of you who were curious, make sure that you watch the singular and plural on the Vacation Vibes and know what it is that you are purchasing. This new Doopy line is not on sale right now, except for like the regular, like, I don't know, buy 3, get 3, or whatever else they've got for like the consolation prize for people who want to buy like full price stuff. This is really not on sale in any other respect. This is 75% off, but it is a pineapple coconut scent. Emphasis on the pineapple. So my car smells like pineapple right now. I don't love that. I don't love it. And like sometimes the car fresheners do nothing for your car. They're just like, you put something in, you're like, oh, I really want my car to smell like mahogany coconut. And then like you can't smell it for 3 weeks. But it's the one fragrance that you're like, not so sure about. It is rocking my car right now. Pineapple. Okay, so let's go back to Vanilla Coconut Surf. Now, I did hear from some people, or I heard it in the rumor mill, that there are some stores that may have this for 75% off. That would be incredible. Frankly, I would repurchase this one if it was a $10.95 candle. So, when I go to Richmond, maybe I'll find it. I hope I do, because yes, I would repurchase this one. I did not initially purchase this one. I smelled it and I was kind of like, yeah, no. Mainly because for me, it smelled a bit too gourmandy, actually. There was a very strong caramel vanilla note right on the top of the candle. And if you've been with my channel for any amount of time, you know that like I'm not really a huge gourmand person. I'm definitely not a vanilla person. So I wasn't going to go for it. But Ken from Candle Channel, like he bought it and he adores it. And he's been talking about it since then. He like loves this candle and thought it performed really, really well. So it's kind of in the back of my mind as one that I might pick up, especially because if you're with Bath & Body Works and you go into the store every week, you get kind of bored. And at a certain point, you're like, oh, all right. Like, I would not have picked this up the first time, the second time, the third time, the fourth time, the fifth time. But here we are in the 13th time that I've been in this store and stared at this candle. I guess you're coming home with me today. It's a great sale, right? That's what happens. So this did come home with me at a certain point, and I only burned it up like within the last 3 weeks. And Ken is right. It is a gorgeous candle. It's a very effective candle, and it's a beautiful contribution to Bath & Body Works, like very well plowed tropical line and coconut line, frankly. I mean, Bath & Body Works comes out with a new tropical coconut candle in their sleep. I mean, like every 3 weeks. Like, it's craziness and insanity, especially in that January to March push. You can bank on every year there being a new coconut candle that's really just kind of the same kind of generic coconut scent that Bath & Body Works puts out. I know everybody was like worshiping Cocoa Paradise last year. I didn't think it was that great. It was okay. It was adequate. It was decent, you know? And don't get me wrong, I have a shower gel. I might even have 2 shower gels of Cocoa Paradise because during semi-annual sale last summer, they clearanced out Cocoa Paradise, and I got some of those nice moisturizing shower gels from Cocoa. Like, I liked Cocoa Paradise. I did not end up burning it in the candle because there were just too many reports that it was like too weak, and I didn't think it was that great of a fragrance to begin with. It was like a fragrance that was built to be weak because I really didn't think there was a whole lot to it, however pleasant it was. This is better than Cocoa Paradise. It really is, and it is beautiful and it is gorgeous, and I am prepared to say now that I do think that it's certainly the best coconut candle that I have burned from Bath & Body Works, which is not saying a whole lot because I haven't been burning consistently from Bath & Body Works for like a decade. So I can't tell you. Maybe there was a better coconut at a certain point, but for me, it's definitely the best I've burned and the best that like I've smelled up to this point. Could I imagine a better coconut candle? Yes. And I even said a few days ago that the coconut and vanilla candle from Village, in my opinion, is even better than this one. But that could also have to do with some personal preferences as well. So let's talk about the notes here. Vanilla Coconut Surf, which to my knowledge is a new candle for this year, is sweet vanilla. So sweet vanilla is first, which is another reason why it smelled like sweet vanilla was first, and it's listed first, and I passed on it for a long time because I'm not a vanilla girl, I'm not a gourmand girl. Second note, though, is coconut waves, and third note is beech wood. And frankly, if I had looked at the notes and taken them to heart and like received them, I would have seen that yes, there is a gourmandy note with the sweet vanilla and the coconut, but half of this candle is not gourmandy. It's waves and it's beech wood. Just upon smelling it, it did really kind of smell more gourmandy. And Kent did say that he thought it was a very gourmand like candle, which is part of the reason why he loved it, because he does do gourmands. Now that I've burned it, I can smell other things as well. And there is like a woodiness in this for sure. There is a muskiness to this, which makes it not quite a gourmand. And when I was burning it, I actually got a ton of stuff that was not gourmand. So I'm prepared now to say that this is actually not a gourmandy candle. It's not a gourmand coconut. It's really not. Although it does have very heavy vanilla caramelized coconut notes. There's no question. So if you are a gourmand person, you're going to love it for that aspect of it. But it's not through and through a gourmand. Yeah? There is a gorgeous, like kind of traditional, like sandalwoody, beechwood, driftwood, musky, tonka kind of situation on the bottom. No question. And then there is this aspect that seems a little mineral and a little sunscreeny. And the mineral may be coming from what they're calling waves. It could be kind of a nice aquatic note that has kind of a mineral, sea salt, sea kelp kind of vibe to it. but when I was burning it, I was getting a lot of sunscreen notes that had more to do with neroli, frankly. There was kind of a neroli coconut vibe here. A lot of sunscreens have a neroli note in them. Yes, along with that like strong, almost medicinal mineral note. And I think that there might be some unlisted floral in here that is kind of along the neroli theme with some amount of like briny mineral kind of notes as well. Yeah. For me, it was a coconut neroli that was very kind of brassy and sunscreeny once it was burned. Still coconutty for sure. And this is why for me, I just don't love sunscreen candles. I don't love my house smelling like sunscreen. Don't get me wrong, this is a very tasteful sunscreen note. It's not like a under the sun, under the, whatever that candle that is, you know, that's also on the floor right now. It's not like one of those like really crass, garish, like, I've got my face, I'm like bobbing for apples in a tub of sunscreen kind of vibe to it. It's not like that. It's very tasteful, and I think it just has to do with this combination of the mineral aquatic note with perhaps a little bit of unlisted neroli and the coconut with the musk. It's just going a little tiny bit sunscreen and made the entire candle a little bit more brassy than I would like. And that's why I kind of prefer the Village Coconut Vanilla a little bit better, because it does not have the mineral note. It does not have a neroli note. It doesn't go sunscreen. It's much basier with like a lot of musk, coconut, and vanilla. And it's more like I said, mid-range to base. I actually prefer that a little bit better. But I know that there are so many people who love a little bit of sunscreen in your candle, and Bath & Body Works has you covered for that. I do think that this is definitely the best version, not only of a great coconut candle, a great tropical candle, a great coconut conceptual candle from Bath & Body Works, but also it's got a little bit of that sunscreen vibe in it. And I think a lot of people are going to like it for that reason. For all of those reasons, this is an amazing contribution to the Bath & Body Works line. It's just austere and serious enough for people like me to like it, but I think that there's enough coconut, you know, caramelized vanilla and even sunscreen to get almost everybody on board with this candle. And then on top of it, it performed like a dream. It went all the way down, maybe a little bit of sooting, but nothing really to speak of. Self-trimmed for the most part. There weren't huge wicks, no puny wicks, burned up, pulled out. Like, it was super reliable, and the strength and throw on this was at least a 7.5 in the open concept, no hurricane. Friends, it's a winner. It's a winner. In fact, so much of a winner that even though it's basic and it has all the elements of like 17 million candles that Bath & Body Works not only has in their collection, but frankly, many of them are on the floor right now as we speak, I still am tempted to give this a best new candle for the year. I think it's impressive for a company like Bath & Body Works who puts these kinds of candles out in their sleep and frankly phones them in and like has so many of them that you can hardly keep them straight. For a company like that to put forward a new coconut beach candle that performs as well as this one does and also seems kind of fresh, new, and exciting, you got to give them props. You really have to give them props. So for that reason, I do think it's at least an honorable mention for best new candle 2024. And considering the fact, I mean, if this was put out by another company, I would say it was great, but I would say it was basic. But I'm actually giving a little bit, I'm giving some points here for originality for a candle that you would not expect to be original from Bath & Body Works. I think it's great. I think it's great. It kind of reminds me in that respect of the one candle, and Kent liked this one too, the towel coconut one. What was it, like fresh cotton and coconut, or I don't know what, like maybe a year or two ago during the summer. That was a great candle too. That was a fantastic candle. It was very like beach resort, like towel laundry room door open where the pool is and the coconut. I mean, it's a loud candle. It's an aggressive candle, in many ways less nuanced than this candle. But again, it was a coconut candle well within the Bath & Body Works genre that was still kind of new and unexpected in some bizarre way. So yes, Vanilla Coconut Surf is a yes for me. And yes, I would repurchase this one. I would repurchase it at any time, obviously, for a good price. But certainly, if I see this in Richmond, I would buy it at $10.95 without a coupon. And I would certainly, if I see it 75% off, I'm sorry, friends, but all of them are coming home with me. No matter what the price point is, they're all coming home with me. So, if it's 75% off, I apologize. But that will be the end of Vanilla Coconut Surf at that location. Really great candle. Kent, thanks so much for drawing this to our attention, even though it was kind of underrated and understated, and there wasn't a whole lot of hype and buzz with the exception of Kent. Yes, he is correct. This was a great candle. And there have been some underrated, frankly, pretty good candles, especially for those of us who have been hitting up Bath & Body Works on a semi-regular basis. There have been some major performance issues from Bath & Body Works over the last 5 months, and I think we've all been pretty honest and transparent about that. The strength and throw has not been where it needs to be for Bath & Body Works, and we're not talking random candles. I would say fully 75% of the candles on the floor right now do not have the strength and throw that they need to have, which is very above average for Bath & Body Works. Their strength is generally strength and throw. It's at least decent. It's decent. And compared on a curve to all the other candle companies, it's even more than decent, right? Bath & Body Works has really not had a good showing in the last 5 months. And there are, we don't know what all the reasons are for that. I mean, maybe they're just phoning it in, you know? Maybe fall is going to be amazing, you know, because they always kind of want to like, you know, sometimes they need to take a break and then they come roaring back, you know. Just when we've become used to good strength and throw, then it goes away. And then when it comes back, we're like, yes, you know what I mean? And so they kind of like those waves sometimes. I also, and this is just a conjecture, I do wonder if they are messing with their wax formula, because I've noticed that their candles are not only less strength and throw, but they're actually burning a little bit differently. They are burning cleaner than usual, number one. Number two, they are building. So because now with the cleaner burn, you can burn them a bit longer than traditional Bath & Body Works candles. And frankly, with many of these candles, this last 5 months, you almost need to burn them longer. They like build as they go along. So once you get into that 3rd hour point, the strength and throw appreciably seems to get better. Bath & Body Works candles do not usually do that. And actually, it's one of the things that I really appreciate about Bath & Body Works candles is you can light up a candle, and within 10 or 15 minutes, even before that candle has fully pulled, you are getting very close to the ceiling for that particular candle in terms of strength and throw. So if it's a 6.5 kind of candle, it kind of goes 0 to 60 in about 10 or 15 minutes. You don't have to wait 2 hours for there to be some sort of heat level before you get strength and throw. With Bath & Body Works, you burn it and it takes you there. It takes you there right off. If you want to blow it out after an hour, you can, and you feel as though you've had a really nice fragrance experience for an hour. These candles here for the last 5 months have not been doing that. Now we have to wait for strength and throw a couple of hours. It's making me think that they are possibly tweaking their formula and trying to put more soy into it because they've gotten so many complaints about puny wicks, about sooting, about the dirtiness of their candles, etc. And given the fact that they do have a paraffin blend, you would expect for a dirtier like burn than like some of these fancy new like heavily plant-based waxes and various other companies. And some of them like Kringle have gone 100% soy. So that's putting a lot of pressure, I think, on Bath & Body Works to kind of like produce some sort of cleaner experience. But as you should all know at this point, if you're a serious candle burner, there are trade-offs. There are trade-offs. You can have a cleaner candle, but that usually means at the expense of strength and throw. And it can also mean at the expense of the consistency of the fragrance. A higher soy content will mean that you need to wait much longer to get strength and throw in your house. With Kringle candles, sometimes I feel as though I have to burn it almost 4 hours until I get it to a place where the strength and throw is at the ceiling, whatever the ceiling is for that candle. Many of my homework candles have been performing that way lately as well. I'm starting to call them hotel lobby candles because they're the kind of candles that you can burn, you can light, and you can forget about them. And they sit there in the corner and they just kind of, in a very like low maintenance kind of way, burn for 5, 6, 7, 8 hours. And about at the 5-hour mark, you start actually getting a perceivable presence of fragrance in your house. But you've got to wait 4 or 5 hours. We never had to do that for Bath & Body Works. Between us, I prefer the old Bath & Body Works. I will deal with the soot. I will deal with the mess. That's fine. But I love having a candle company where I don't have 4 hours of my day today. I just don't. I've got to be here. I've got to be there. What I want is a beautiful strength payoff in the 45 minutes that I have this morning to get a cup of coffee, think about my day, etc. Bath & Body Works was great for that, and I want them to continue to be great for that, especially because there are fewer and fewer candle companies now that can give you that result, that effect, that experience. Surely for those of us who are busy, who are not stay-at-home moms, who do not have the privilege of a work experience that they can perform from their kitchen counter or from their home office, for those of us, we want a candle that can really put out, frankly. It needs to put out in like 10 or 15 minutes because all I have is 45 or an hour or whatever else it is. Bath & Body Works was so great at that. And so I'm kind of worried, frankly, that the problem here is not just them phoning it in for a few months and taking a break, but they are actually changing their formula and changing their approach. And if that's the case, I'm not a fan of it. I'm really not. And I do think that like that makes the other companies a little bit more attractive because they do the same thing. Yeah. So it gives me less of a reason to go to Bath & Body Works. Although the price point is still great and the accessibility and availability is still great. And their turnover and their like fleet of fragrances at any given time is very impressive. There are still things that make Bath & Body Works competitive and unique on the market. But this is a unique aspect that I really treasure and that I look for in a candle company. And there are relatively few that do it the way that Bath & Body Works does. And it would make me very sad if that was going away. So hopefully it's just kind of a 5-month blip, etc., etc. Anyway, close parentheses on that. All I was trying to say is the performance on on Bath & Body Works has not been great over the last 5 months, but there have been some candles that have not gotten buzz and that frankly should have because they were quite good. Kent recommends this one. Along those lines, Gwen's Note for me was a major standout, and I'm prepared now to say that that's also a best new candle for 2024, although it didn't seem so initially. It seemed more like a honorable mention to me. I'm now prepared to say that it's more than an honorable mention. I picked up 2 of them on Sunday. That was a fantastic candle. It really was kind of basic, very much within their wheelhouse, just as this one was, but also just super fantastic. Highly recommend Gwen's Note. So there have been some candles like that that haven't gotten the buzz that they probably should have. That entire Black History collection with Gwen Gonzalez was really great. Yumi in the Sea and Anna's Garden were also quite good. I'm finishing up Anna's Garden right now. Yumi in the Sea was a great, like, mineral herbal aquatic. Gwen's Note, I think, was the best in the entire collection, but that was a real standout of a collection. And frankly, most of them are $10.95 right now in stores. So if you see any of them from that collection, the only one I can't speak to is the chocolate hazelnut one, which I don't think was quite as good as the other three objectively, but I did not burn it because subjectively I don't do gourmands. But the other three are really very much worth your attention, and I think were fantastic. So anyway, this was kind of like a teaser for semi-annual, but I'll tell you what I got officially from semi-annual once I go to Richmond. In the meantime, if you see this one, definitely pick it up. I really hope it stays in the collection, and I hope it comes back because it's a winner. It's a winner. Thanks for joining me, my friends, and I will see you in the next one very soon for semi-annual. See ya.